Okay, welcome back. Uh, Last episode we drew the head. Now we're gonna draw the body. Or maybe I should like do a better breakdown of the head. I don't know, dude. I don't know what I'm doing. I just I just draw things. I don't know how I draw them. I don't do the whole, like do this and then this. Most of the time I just do this. Like that's most of my drawings right there. Is I just start with that and I go from there. I haven't done this since I started. So it's hard for me to come back. All right. So with the body, I'm sure you've all seen like bean bags and how they sit kind of like this, They always have that one floofy part up top. Well, congratulations, that beanbag is our body. So, or just bean, or just potato sack. Whatever shape you think of, that could be it. Some people are like, "Oh, I like, hourglasses." So their bodies come out like this. Sure. Whatever, that's fine. Only since it's a female, the top is going to be thinner than the bottom. Since it's a Gardevoir, the whole thing's just going to be a stick. But keep muting myself to cough. Sorry. Change my music here. All right. So now we're going to start with the body, and since it's going to be head on, try and do things as evenly as possible. All I did there was I just drew an oval. Nothing fancy. I just drew the oval. And now for the circles, we're just going to put, or for the circles, for the shoulders, we're just going to put circles. Hmm. Now this is the part where it gets a little fancy. I guess you could say that. We're going to connect the dots. So the shoulders, everyone has this little trapezoidal. They're traps, the neck muscle right there. Everyone has that. And you don't have to worry about the collarbone. I just put that in there for me. But everyone has this muscle right here, and then it's a bump for the collarbone, right? You got your clavicle bump, and then you got your shoulders. I'm no anatomical expert, I'll admit it, but bada bing, bada boom, you got yourself, you got your Gardevoir's shoulders. All right. Now, since you already have this here, this is her body shape, but you see the shoulders don't quite line up with it. That's when you come in and you're like, all right, well, to make it match, you just widen out the top of the oval like this. Bada bing, bada boom. And if you want, you can put a little sectioning line to show that this is the rib cage right here. Ribs. And of course, you want it to come in because, the body does have like this natural curvature toward the gut and then out again on both male and female. Now, for her chest spike, since she's looking at us dead on, it's just going to be, you guessed it, an oval. Look at that. Bada bing, bada boom. That's simple. Give me a sec. I'd love to just run through this and be like, oh yeah, well this is how I do this and this is how I do this, but you're not gonna be able to do it that way. That's where a lot of tutorials fail in teaching you how to do something because they just do what they know how to do. But you're not them. You haven't spent years doing that, so you don't know. Your brain won't immediately be able to do that. If you spent years drawing, you'll be able to adjust in a few minutes and be able to do it, but you still need that back catalog of experience. All right, moving on. Add little eyelashes. Perfection. Where was I? Should we do the arms? We'll just focus. Put little nubbins for the arms right now. That way I know that I'm going to do them. So we're going to do the dress top, which is just a circle, half an oval, whatever you want to say. And then basically where we put that line at is where it's going to end, right? And I put this little circle here. This might move, but it's just where my brain is telling me the belly button's going to be whenever I finish. God damn, it's a big head. But I guess that's, a Gardevoir thing. Maybe I should make the body a bit bigger. Always check your own work. I know I said that already, but always zoom out, look at it, zoom back in, that kind of thing. Triple, quadruple check everything. Flip the canvas. Okay, so now that we've got her chest spike and her dress, I'm not going to add any detail to it. We can focus on the midsection, which is just the same thing. We're just going to add a little tube. That's it. Congratulations. That's the abdominals right there. And now we're going to add to the arms here. And just like with a lot of the long tube structures, it's just going to be a cylinder. So we're just going to come down about yay far, and I'm lining this up. If you stand straight up and put your elbows down at your side and like line up where they stop, they're going to stop around your belly button, right? So I usually do a cylinder and then a circle, and whenever this comes down, it'll probably line up with the belly button or close to it. Your body is your best reference, and it's good to set up. It's good to set like little hints like that in your anatomy. That way you can just do things, and you don't have to. Eventually, you just won't even have to worry about it. It'll just come naturally to you. As for her forearm, Gardevoirs have thick forearms. I should have woken up a bit more before doing this. Oh well. It'll serve its purpose. So for the forearm, Gardevoir just have thick forearms, so it's just the same thing as the top. It's just a cylinder, but you're gonna go out with it. So if you wanted to, you could draw a circle about where you think it's gonna end that's bigger than the circle on her elbow. Oh, that hurt. Oh, welcome to the stream. Oh, that was loud. What in God's name? Oh, the volume on my computer is all the way up. Thanks for the warning. Ooh. But like I was saying, you can just draw a bigger circle about where it's going to end. And if you don't know where it's going to end yet, you can just put a line from the elbow to where you think it's going to end. And it should be the same length as her forearm or her upper arm. So you can draw a line next to it, cut that line and put it down here. And then you just put a circle at the end of that, a bigger circle than the one that's on her elbow. And then you can run the lines back, and there you go. Gardevoir forearm. Bada bing, bada boom. Take a drink of my G Fuel here. I would be that shitty teacher that just shows up and like wheels in a TV, wheels in a TV and puts on Bill Nye in 2021. That would be me. Okay, I can kind of breathe now. Never mind, I take it back. Anyway, sorry. I woke up a few hours ago and I still gotta clear out my lungs, but whew, breathe. Okay, we're gonna do the hand now. So the hand, since you're just starting out, you probably don't know about, all the hand shape stuff, all that. So what we're gonna do for the hand, Gardevoir just have like 3 fingers, right? So we're just gonna do this. Bam, Gardevoir hand, just like that. And then you can go through and refine the shapes a little bit. But say you do know hand shapes. Thank you, apron. Apron. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Say you do know hand shapes and you want to draw the hand, that's fine. You can do that too. I'll show you a quick way that I always do it at least. So I start with the middle finger. I guess that would be the middle finger. And then you draw the next finger. And then the thumb is just branching off of that. There you go. Quick hand. But we're not going to worry about that right now. Just draw the simple hand. All right, Robert. Nice to meet you. So now that we have one arm, obviously got to give her another arm, unless you're wanting her to only have one arm. So it's just the same thing. We just come down a little bit, give it that little circle that we gave the last one. Then we draw a line to figure out where we want the bigger circle to be. And now that we know how big this side is, we got to try and make this side match. Which isn't as hard as it seems. I mean, for me, because I've been drawing for a long time now. 8, we meet on Twitter. Cassandra? Oh, Robert. Of course. Loch Ness booty. All right. So now that we have the other arm, we just do the same thing with the hand. Just bring it down to a little nub point and give her fingers, her, whatever fits your prerogatives. And then we can adjust it to match the other side better. All right. And that's the upper body. But now we need to draw the legs and all that jazz. So should I do that like as another episode, or should I just continue this one? Who knows? We'll just continue this one. So let's clean up what we have. That way we can see it better. Hmm. There we go. All right. Well, thanks for coming. I really hope this is informative. Like I said it earlier whenever I first started that sure I could just, draw a Gardevoir and be like, that's how you do it. But I'm trying to explain it in a way that somebody who hasn't been drawing for 8 years would understand, you know? Look at that. It looks like a I can't say that on Twitch. Alright. Now we're gonna draw the lower path. So to do this, we're just gonna draw a quick little trapezoid, and that will function as our hips. Probably needs to be a bit bigger because of, you know, anatomy. There we go. They don't have to be even right now because we're just sketching. Drawing as I teaching, very good. I should have eaten more. G fuel's starting to kill me. Hmm. Alright, so we got a trapezoid down. That can function as the start of our hips. And then this line from her chest spike all the way down. Now we know where to put, I already did it earlier, as you can see with these lines, but now we know where to put her pelvis. And that's just going to round out right around where the hips are. And then from there, that's when we break into the thighs. So the thighs are the same as everything else has been. It's just going to be an oval or a cylinder, whatever shape you're more comfortable with drawing. It's also, you could just draw a cylinder and then bring it down. And just like with the bicep to forearm, but in reverse. So you draw a bigger circle and then a smaller circle and then connect the dots. And then you just connect those to the hips. But also be sure to be zooming in and out. That way you see whether or not you're lining everything up properly. Or if you're on paper, make sure you're looking at everything. making sure everything's the right size. Because if not, you're going to end up with a carnivore with a huge torso but tiny legs. I do it all the time because I'll be zoomed in drawing and I'll zoom out, not be where I want to be. All right. So once you get your thigh shape down, whether it be a cylinder or an oval, what you want to remember is right underneath the genital area is where the thigh is going to connect to the upper body. So there's a little curve in there, and that curve, kind of like a recurve, it goes in and then comes out, and that's where you get this muscle right here. I don't know what it's called, but that's where this muscle like kind of connects the tendon right there. So every time you see that, whether or not it's a muscular person or not, you're still going to see this line. And this line represents that tendon, that muscle. And then, of course, you've got the booty. Now, of course, depending on your character, is whether or not the booty is going to show up at all. But in this case, let's say she thick, but she also or she attacked, but she also got back. we're gonna raise the we're gonna shrink the torso section, and then I guess I keep the legs the same length. So now that we have the thigh done, we can look at the knee, and there's a lot that goes into drawing a knee, but for this tutorial specifically, we're just gonna put a little circle down there, like it's a robot joint. Just gonna put a little circle down there, and then draw the calf, which, all right, we're going to draw the bottom part of the leg, the foreleg, if you will. So I want to try and do it as if I were all the way back in the day. So I want to draw first just two lines, and since it's a Gardevoir, these lines are going to come to a point. So it's going to look like this. But I also don't like drawing Gardevoir legs like that. I don't know why. So we're going to give her some calf muscle. That just means we're going to curve out just like that. And since we curved out on this side, that means the leg is kind of facing this way. So if we come up here to the knee where we put that circle, we can just put two lines like that. And then I like to add a little bit of shade. Now we just refine everything. Now you're going to need to learn how to draw the other leg. But drawing the other leg twice, if it's going to be the same thing, just flipped, you know, save yourself the time, but you'll go crazy. Especially if it's just a mirror image anyway, you know? There's no reason to draw it twice. Unless it's different, you know? And even if it is, you could just draw the thigh and then copy the bottom part here. Now we're gonna add the dress so that she's not naked. She's wearing an undersuit, of course, but you know. Just bringing things in line with the rest of the hips. Or with the hips, excuse me. All right. So now the dress is just simple. It's just lines, and then you pick a part on the outside, and then you follow that line. And there you go. And you do the same thing on the other side. You just draw a line and a pattern that you like, and then you just follow it with the other side, and then connect them like this. There you go. And then for the back, you just throw it back like that, and then connect it. You can do it however you like. You just draw the line that you like, and if you want to add depth, you can curve it out like that and connect it on the other side. And then for the rest of it, just like that. Doesn't have to be super complex. It doesn't have to be, like all that jazz, fancy, all up in your face with the depth and all that. It doesn't have to be that. It can just be sitting. And then for the back ones, you can just draw like it's sitting on the ground. Naturally, because the dress is there, you wouldn't be able to see all this. And it's also okay to keep all that, but on a separate layer, uh, put white. That way it's hidden. Dog bless. All right. Now, because her dress is fabric, it's going to fold and stack on the sides, depending on how thick it is, of course. But I assume her dress is probably pretty thick, kind of like armor. Maybe not kind of like armor, but like a thick canvas, but also soft. I don't know. So I can see that her arms are too short, kind of gimpy. They need to come down to about where the thigh rounds out. And we can fix that just by dragging them down to where they look a little bit better and then resizing both halves. Actually, for the top part, I'm just going to draw it out. Oh, I don't like that. All right. Now we put the elbow joint, and now we put the hand. Well, would you look at that? And because I'm lazy, I'm just gonna copy and paste it, flip it. I probably should have done that with the whole arm, but whatever. Bing, bang, boom. Now they're too long. Eesh. You just can't win, man. Oh, I don't think they're too long. I think I might have drawn the forearm too big. It's a habit. There we go. There we go. And there you have it. There's there's a Gardevoir. I'm gonna stop the recording, but I'm gonna keep streaming. I'm just gonna